What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking down the next stage of the 10th anniversary battle here. We're getting very close to the end here. We are on the 10th anniversary part 1 stages. So we've got a couple of different missions here. We've got a category mission to beat this with a Earth Protecting Heroes team and a Successors team. So yeah, unfortunately there's like not a lot of crossover between those two categories, so we are going to have to do two separate runs in order to get these missions completed. So starting out here, this is what our Earth Protecting Heroes build is going to look like. Didn't want to run in with like the super optimal builds or anything like that. Sorry about that. My headset is insistent on just shutting off on me. So, but yeah, didn't want to run in here with like anything super OP. We have been just, you know, doing constant runs of the Gogeta Vegito builds. So I figured I'd maybe switch it up a little bit. I think that's funny as I say that. There's literally Vegito and Gogeta on the screen right now, linked up, but just in general, I think, you know, switching out a couple of the 10th anniversary buffs, you know, off the team and giving ourselves maybe one or two other options would be nice. There is also, so this is actually not my first run on this. I was already recording this stage for an entire hour and just failing it over and over. So I have readjusted the team build just a little bit to accommodate for like what some of the boss mechanics are going to be a little bit later in the fight. Which we'll go into when we get to that point. So for now, we are dealing with kind of a unique fight that they've created for us with these tag switch characters. So every turn, we're going to be tag switching between the Goku and Vegeta, and then once we defeat their HP pool, then they'll transform into the Vegito, and then the second fight obviously will be the exact same thing, but with Gogeta. So we haven't really been seeing too much trouble with the Vegito fight. It's honestly not that difficult, but then the Gogeta fight is the one that's kind of the pain, right? So, which does suck that it's, you know, once you're 20 minutes into the fight, then you finally realize, like, you're gonna get KO'd, and then you have to start the entire thing again. So yeah, it's taken quite a long time to put these attempts together. Alright, so we do have I guess we'll keep these two guys together. The LR Super Saiyan 4s with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. They're going to link up really well. Giving them access to Saiyan Roar is definitely going to help the amount of damage that they're both doing. So yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that we are going to finish off this phase on this turn here. Probably pretty easily. And then we'll go ahead and face off against Vegito. So as far as the boss mechanics that we're looking at for this, there's not too much to worry about on this first phase. Nothing too special here. Just the defense gains that they get, or offense. So Goku gets offense gains, and then Vegeta gets defense gains after receiving super attacks. And then the Vegito himself is going to be raising stats, both offense and defense, every time he receives an attack. So he is just going to get stronger and stronger over time, so depleting his pool of health, which is 180 million, is going to be kind of important to do as quickly as possible, right? But that's why having the LR Super Saiyan 4s linked up with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku is going to be good here, right? And then when they do return on turn 4, we're going to be able to transform the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and that should be quite a gnarly turn for us. Okay, so this is the very first appearance for the LR Gods, so they are going to have 77% damage reduction, so we'll definitely keep them in slot 1. And then we can keep Gogeta on rotation. I actually do want to favor Gogeta, because I think what we're going to end up doing for this fight, ultimately, is we are going to use not the Gogeta active skill, but we will use the Veku active skill and give ourselves the Ghost Usher. I think that that's going to be the wisest way to play this out on the final phase against Gogeta. I'm not really worried about this phase with the Vegito here, but yeah, against the Gogeta, I'm definitely going to want to do that. Alright, so the boss we're dealing with right now has a max of 2 super attacks per turn, and he has 0 cooldown for it. It's a 1.8 million damage super attack, which isn't like insanely high, or like hard to deal with, but just keep in mind he's getting stronger every time we attack him, right? So the longer he's alive, the more and more powerful he's gonna get. Which could be quite scary for us, right? But yeah, starting next turn, we're going to have a lot more protection coming in. It was actually really lucky that we had the LR Gods in slot 3, so that we had the free 77% damage reduction in slot 1, and then we're going to have the exact same thing on the next rotation, because we'll transform with the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and then throw them in slot 1, and we'll get the same deal. And then I guess we'll also have the added benefit of the Scouter, so we'll be able to see exactly where those super attacks are going to be at, just to make sure we can fully protect ourselves here. Okay, and then let's see how much damage we can get in here with Vegito. Obviously, the most ideal thing would be if we could get him below 50% HP. It's looking a little doubtful that's going to happen, though. Yeah, probably not. Just because that way when we use the... Oh, wait, we're going to have the Great Ape transformation as well, though, right? Oh, no. It's not turn 5 yet. Okay, well, unfortunate. So we're not going to be able to use the LR Super Saiyan 4's... or I guess the Gogeta's active skill here. Okay, so we see that both of the super attacks are there in slot 1. So we're going to be fine even if we get hit by those. Just because we're dealing with 1.7 million defense on top of guard and 77% damage reduction. Well, I guess 87% damage reduction because of the support we're getting from Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So yeah, we're going to be fine on this turn no matter what. I guess the only question mark is the Hercule at the end there. He possibly could take a little bit of damage for us, huh? He's not able to get a super attack off anyway, so we'll just grab those 2 orbs to keep the board filled up. Alright, nice. We do activate the counter, which is only going to help us do more damage this turn. So that is very, very good. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, and we counter the second one as well? Wonderful. You'll love to see it, folks. Obviously, he did have a 70% chance to counter both of those. Oh yeah, it's over. It is big over. Okay, so the immediate problem that we're dealing with already, because we are going to finish off this phase, which means we're moving on to that next fight with the rotation that we have, you know, ready to go on the other side. The problem that we're dealing with is that the next phase goes down super quick. So we're going to be facing off against the base form of the Dokkan Fest Gogeta, right? So we'll be facing off against Vegeta turn 1, and then turn 2 it'll switch to Goku, and then turn 3 back to Vegeta, and so on, until we deplete their HP pool, and then they will transform into Gogeta. Now, that Gogeta starts out with 100% chance to critical hit. So, because it's not turn 1, and we can't depend on the LR Super Saiyan 4s and the LR Gods to have that massive damage reduction that they get, you know, upon appearance into the fight. We are going to have to basically try and stretch this HP pool that we have right here for 3 turns. So that, because, you know, it is possible for us if we try our hardest to just deplete this HP pool in 2 turns, but then that means we'll be starting off against the Gogeta on turn 3, which is 1 turn too early for any units on this team to have access to their active skills, which are going to give them all the damage reduction protection that they'll need against critical hits. Because obviously we have lots of defense to go around, but damage reduction is going to be the more important thing here, right? So that being considered, what I'm going to do is purposely nerf myself and not actually select a lot of orbs. I actually probably shouldn't have even selected that orb. That was bad. But yeah, this is fine. So yeah, I'm just going to purposely nerf all over the place. Not try and get like 24 key supers so that we can do a smaller amount of damage. Just to make this HP pool last that 1 extra turn. That way we'll be going into the Gogeta fight on turn 4 instead of turn 3. And then we'll have access to the... you know, active skills that are going to protect us. And honestly, the most ideal way to make this happen would be if our very first turn of that final phase was with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku transforming. Because then, you know, if we were able to wait until turn 5 to be able to get him to transform. But actually, that isn't going to work out anyway because he's on turn 2. So we would have to rotate him off in order for him to transform on turn 5. Otherwise, it would be turn 6 that he transforms. Okay. We probably will rotate him off anyway. I think that's probably going to be the smartest way to go regardless. Just because, again, name of the game is going to be to do as little damage as possible here. So that this phase doesn't, or so it lasts a bit longer for us. Man, it's so hard to get the 10th anniversary Dokkan Fest to not do a lot of damage, right? Oh, my goodness, yeah. Okay, stop attacking, thank you. Alright, okay, we don't have to worry about these guys doing any damage. They should be safe against super attacks and stuff, just with the defense raise from supering and the 40% damage reduction that they've got. Yeah, okay, we're fine here. And then, oh yeah, so for this first phase here, after we attack them, they get guaranteed crits. So that's why you're seeing them crit so much. But we're not super worried about that. Our units can tank against that fine. Okay, so yeah, if we're looking to do the least amount of damage possible, we're going to want to split up the GT units so that we lose GT and Saiyan Roar. Then we'll be doing a lot less damage for the turn, right? Okay, so again, we want to try to do as little damage as possible, so we're going to select these orbs. They'll be safe up there in slot 1, no problem. Yeah, Vegito should be fine here. And then I guess we grab this for Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Okay, and then that'll work out well because Super Saiyan 4 Goku will come back on turn 5, which obviously, unless we're below 70% HP, which on this phase is looking very impossible to do. For the most part, we are either, you know, not really taking any damage at all, or we just straight up get KO'd from like a crit super attack, right? So getting below that HP threshold in order to transform him isn't really practical to depend on. So we're probably going to have to wait until turn 5 to get the Great Ape transformation anyway. But if we kept him on rotation, then we would have to wait all the way until turn 6 to do that. And that is definitely not what we want to see happen, right? So yeah, smart to transfer or to rotate him off here. Definitely the best way to go. And then if we can help it, we should try not to KO on this next turn as well. If we can help it. If we can help it. I know that's going to be quite difficult with the rotation that we've got. You know, obviously, both of those anniversary LR units are stacking attack, and they both got 1 turn of attack stacks already. Obviously, the Hercule is nice because he won't really be doing any damage for us. But yeah, getting the attack stacks with them is kind of a boof because they're going to do a lot of damage here, kind of regardless of what we do. Okay, let's see. So, I think it's possible that we get KO'd from a super attack here. That is definitely possible. It's also very possible that we KO the enemy here, and I really don't want to do that. If I can help it. Okay, what I'm actually going to do, because he gets the additional, I believe he gets an additional super attack if we put him in slot 2 or 3. Let me see here. Yeah, launches an additional, has a great chance to be a super. I don't want him to get that, because I want to try to do little damage, so we will just keep him in slot 1 then. And we'll do this. And then we can just grab the 1 orb with them. Remember, with the guaranteed crits coming at us, it doesn't really matter what our defense stat is at. And then for Hercule... oh, wait, can this enemy be stunned? No. Okay. There's really no reason for us to super attack with him then, right? Yeah, because his main thing is this portion of his kit right here, right? So yeah, we're just depending on him. The last time that I got KO'd in the phase, Hercule actually got hit by the first attack and, you know, proc to the 90% damage reduction. And then on the very second attack, where he had 85% chance to dodge, he got hit. And we got KO'd. So that was very bad. Okay, it looks like it's not going to make a difference. We're just doing way too much damage, so we are actually going to finish off the phase here, unfortunately. I mean, actually, if they don't crit, then we could be in business. Yeah, no. We could be okay here. We could be okay here. We just have to hope no critical hits pop, right? And then we should be all right to survive the phase. Or to at least not finish off the phase. And then as far as surviving the phase goes, there we go. Now we survive the phase because they dodged that, so we don't have to worry about all that damage they would have taken. And then, okay, we got hit. Now we gotta dodge. You've gotta dodge. Okay, I'm taking Hercule off the team. He keeps getting me killed like this, and I'm not having it. So, no. Just no. Oh, great. The cord unplugged itself. I don't know when that happened, but Hercule just did the exact same thing that I was talking about before. He has now wasted an hour and a half of my life, so bye. You're done. And instead, we're going to put on Beast Gohan. There we go. And then, oh, wait, is Beast on... He's not on Successors. So I have to use a friend Vegito then, instead of a friend Gogeta. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and jump back in. And take down the stage again. Yeah, Hercule just got me killed too many times. I don't understand, because he has 90% damage reduction for the first hit. So he's always going to tank that, like even through all those crits and stuff, as you saw. And then for after he receives an attack, he gets an extra 45% dodge. So he should be at 85% dodge, and for some reason he just gets hit. He's just incapable of evading. So I'm not dealing with that anymore. I will not. Alright, how do we want to set up the rotations here? We've got the LR Super Saiyan 4s on the opposite side, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate off Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then we'll run the rotation like this. So yeah, I think Beast Gohan is a suitable replacement. He still is not a unit. Like, if we are going to run him as like a slot 3 floater for the most part here. So he's probably not going to be doing a ton of damage because he won't be, you know, building up all those attack stacks before, you know, dealing out his super attack. And then we can just make sure not to nuke hard with him, and he'll be fine. It is pretty easy to make him look weak offensively, right? But then he's obviously going to be much stronger defensively than the Hercule. So we will not be taking KOs there. Well, it's looking like this is the only video I'm going to get to record today then, because I've failed so many times. That sucks. I would have liked to finish off the anniversary battles entirely, but as we still have to run this, and once we finish this, we still have to do the entire thing again with the Successors team, and then, you know, and then we have the part 2 stage for us to be done with the anniversary battle. So, yeah, it looks like, I mean, hopefully I'll have time to at least do the Successors run, so we can get the full part 1 10th anniversary stages done today, but I have got to go to work in about an hour and a half. I gotta be clocked in at work, so... yeah, I don't have too much more time to mess around with this, unfortunately. Which obviously, you know, one thing that we could do if we got back to that final Gogeta phase, which we haven't even gotten to here, in this video, I could just double Whis and then we would win, because you don't have to worry about his critical hits if you've got 80% damage reduction up on everybody. So yeah, that's another thing to potentially consider. Okay, it's looking possible that he survives this turn, which I would not like. I kind of want to get through this as quickly as possible. We don't really have to... you know, savor the HP on this first half, because the Vegito isn't really that scary. We can still handle him in base, right? Go away. Just getting spam calls in the middle of recording. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and put my phone in focus mode. That's quite ridiculous. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's probably what I will end up doing. If we do get back to the Gogeta phase, I'll probably just double Whis. If we don't have access to, like, our active skills that are going to keep us safe or anything. Yeah, I may just end up double Whising and then calling it good from there. Because that's the other thing we could do. We could set up our rotations for, like, the big damage dealing rotations instead of, like, purposely nerfing ourselves like we did last time in order to, you know, savor like the amount of HP we have on the first phase. We could just rip through it all as quickly as possible, and then if we get to Gogeta too quickly and we don't have any protection from damage reduction from active skills or anything, then we'll just double Whis and then use the active skills later. And then it would be an absolute free win, right? Because the entirety of the fight up to that point is pretty free. Okay, well, he is going to survive this one more turn. Unfortunately. Alright, and we've even got to worry about a super attack. You love to see it. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and keep our rotations like this. I suppose, I mean, we do have the target skill mechanic with Beast Gohan. Maybe we aren't going to have to use any items this time around. I suppose it's possible we'll just be perfectly fine. We have some really good team protection, right? Yeah, actually, every single unit on our team, either on turn 4 or turn 5, is going to be able to provide us with an active skill that's going to be massively helpful, right? Because the 7th anniversary LRs are going to get their 77% damage reduction to protect against the crits. As well as being able to potentially counter and dodge super attacks. And then we have the 10th anniversary Dokkan Fest LRs that obviously, you know, get their Vegito and Gogeta transformations. Or, well, we're using double Vegito this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out the physical Gogeta here. We're going to put him in slot 1 because he will counter the super attacks for us. At least that's the hope, right? And then, oof, the orbs look pretty bad here. I guess we'll grab this, and then we can at least get a 12 key with those, but that's it. Oh, we're gonna get hit by this. Okay, we should be fine still, because he's got a lot of damage reduction. We had a 70% chance to counter that. I'm surprised we didn't. That just would have been helpful to be able to do some extra damage, right, and take this guy down a little quicker. Hopefully we'll be able to counter the next one. And because the next counter that we do, if we do counter it, is going to be post-super attack, so it's going to hit a lot harder, since we get all these attack raises on super as well, right? Though we did just attack disable him, so I wonder if we just disabled the super attack, or if we just disabled one of the normals. We'll have to see in a second here. Yeah, it was the super attack. Oh, that's actually so unlucky. We didn't really need either of those super attacks to go that way. That could have been a lot more damage dealt had we countered both of those. So that is kind of scummy. Oh well, though. It'd still be fine. But yeah, so obviously, you know, to our double Vegetos, we have access to both of those leader skills, or to those active skills as well, with the target skill mechanics. Then we've got the Beast Gohan target skill mechanic. And then we have the Tech Gogeta that's going to be able to transform on turn 4, and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku that's going to be able to do the giant form on turn 5. So everybody's got something that they're going to be able to use to protect us. But the name of the game is that none of that stuff fires up until turn 4, turn 5. Which you are now seeing. Okay, so first thing, I guess, we'll go ahead and activate the target skill mechanic here. Let's do some damage to him. Hopefully this gets him below 50% HP. That would be the most ideal situation. Yeah, not even close. Okay. So the thing that sucks about that is that now when we transform with the LR Gods, we're not going to have access to their active skill here to do more damage. just because we're not below 50% HP yet, right? And then we can transform with the LR Gogeta. Now, keeping in mind the amount of damage that we want to do on the next turn, we're going to keep Gogeta on rotation. Because when we start out against that next phase, remember, we're going to want to try and do as little damage as possible, and the 10th anniversary LRs are not helpful with that at all. Look at this field. Look at these rainbow orbs. Oh, wow. This is one of those rare occasions where we're actually going to be able to get 5 rainbow orbs with the LR gods. And it's on a turn where it doesn't even matter, because they don't need the dodge that they're going to be getting from it. You know, simply because they're going to be... we have the target skill mechanic active with the Vegito anyway. Alright, so there's that. Okay, perfect. Alright, and then this should be the death of Vegito. Super Vegito versus Super Vegito. I wonder who will come out victorious. Alright, we should obviously be fine here as well. Wow, oh, he had 2 of his super attacks back-to-back in a row. That's crazy. You love to see that. Alright, and then the same thing that we did last time where we split up the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the LR Gods, or the LR Super Saiyan 4s, we might end up doing that same thing again here. Because it looks like we're looking at the exact same situation as before. Oh, no, actually, we're not. We're not. Yeah, there's no doubt that we're going to finish off the phase here. Like, he just could not... There's no way he could survive this. With all the counters coming in, we still have 2 more units full of super attacks. So, yeah, actually, just keeping in mind being able to use that giant transformation on the first turn of... or I guess as early as possible... Hopefully on the first turn of that final phase of Gogeta. But yeah, ultimately as soon as possible. It looks like we do need to keep both of them on rotation together. Maybe we're going to have to actually rotate off the LR Super Saiyan 4s here. Let's see. Yeah, we honestly might. Just because we're going to do a lot of damage here if we have them linked together. I don't really like the idea of having the 2 of them linked. So we might just do this. I don't know if that's a good idea. How do we get the target skill mechanic active for him again? I don't remember the exact condition. Oh, okay. He just has to receive an attack, and then starting from the next turn, we'll be able to do it. So, okay, so we'll have the target skill mechanic up. Then, yeah. We should be safe here. I'm gonna pull the trigger like this. We're doing this. We're doing this. And then again, we want to make sure we do as little damage as possible on this turn. So we've got this convenient little cluster of no orbs in the corner. We're gonna go ahead and just select these. And then I guess we can grab the purple orb. Yeah, there we go. We can stay focused in that bottom left corner for the next turn as well, and that's going to help us do very, very little damage. Unfortunately, we didn't get our full tech rotation against the int enemy here. He's going to transform into physical, so at least we'll just be type neutral, which isn't the worst thing. And then, yeah, if we can help it, the most ideal situation would be to not get to that final phase of Gogeta until turn 5. That would be the best possible case scenario. And then we probably should rotate off the Tech Vegito here. Or no, we should leave him on. Because we're going to have Beast Gohan on rotation. Or, maybe it would work if we rotate off Tech Vegito on the next rotation. Or no, because it doesn't really matter. We're not going to get 2 turns of that next phase, or it doesn't matter. We should actually put him slot 1, is what we should do. Because he'll do the least amount of damage in slot 1, because he gets the extra buffs in his kit from being in slot 2, or 3. So yeah, let's do this, Because I was thinking, the LR Gods and then the Tech Vegito here, or Tech Gogeta, they both are going to be able to transform on turn 4. So the fact that it's turn 2 means it would be ideal to keep them on rotation so they can transform directly on turn 4. But what that means then is that on turn 5, if we rotate off the Tech Vegito, that means on turn 5 we're going to have both Beast Gohan and Tech Vegito around. I don't think that that's smart to do, because we want to try and split them up so that we can use their target skill mechanics separately of each other, instead of having them both available on the same turn. So yeah, we'll do this, and then having the Tech Vegito slot 1, like I said, is going to be beneficial for us as well. Okay, so we'll do that. Right, and then... yeah, this looks fine. I guess we'll do that. Okay. Okay, so he does have guaranteed crits. That's the only, like, kind of scary part, right? Obviously, we're only on turn 2 here, so we've got 77% damage reduction. So if there is going to be a super attack on this turn, I kind of would like to see it here, rather than in that final slot. Though it is possible that we'll still tank it just fine in that final slot. This first phase doesn't hit that hard, so we should be okay. We do still have some damage reduction with the Tech Gogeta, but I think it's only like 40%. Okay, well, hopefully that's going to be enough for us then, because if there is a super attack, it's coming in here, right? I mean, I suppose it's got a cooldown of 8, so it might not show up until the next turn. It's very possible. We're looking pretty solid with the damage right now. It's seeming like we're definitely going to be able to delay until turn 5, which is nice. Alright. So we have access to our target skill mechanic already. I don't think we're going to use it yet. We also have the potential for a target skill mechanic with the Tech Vegito. We didn't rotate off the Tech Vegito on the other side, so we should probably not rotate off the one here. And then, yeah, rotate Beast. Just factoring in being able to do, like, the strongest damaging turns and stuff on turn 5. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We can grab the same type orb for a little bit of healing and to get that Dokkan gauge a bit closer to popping. And then same deal here. We'll go ahead and grab the same type orb. And then let's see what we have next. Rotation, tech, physical. Okay. So next rotation, we can go all out, and it's not going to really matter, right? So let's go ahead and select these orbs here. We can save the physical ones there for the Super Saiyan 4s next turn. Okay. So hopefully we don't KO. That's the only thing I'm really hoping for here is that, well, we don't KO and then we don't get KO'd, right? We still have lots of entrance animation protection. You know, this guy still has his dodge chances up. Okay, there we go. And we saw the super attack launch for the turn, so now we know we're going to be safe. Everybody can still tank the normal attack. Critical hits perfectly fine. A super attack would have been the only thing I was worried about. Yeah, we are chilling here. We've still got guard up and stuff with him. Alright, sweet. And with that, we definitely are not going to be finishing off the phase here on turn 3. Which means we achieved our goal. So yeah, this final phase of the Gogeta fight, this should be the run for sure. We have set up everything perfectly. We have no slouches on the team. We are ready to go here. Okay, so yeah, the only thing that has to happen is we have to survive this rotation right here now. That's literally the only thing that we have to do. Which, obviously, the reason that that's scary is because we have no damage reduction with the 7th anniversary LRs right now. And... yeah, we have no damage reduction with them. And they are both... What's the best idea here? Okay, so I'm considering using an active skill right now. Actually, you know what I could do? I could tag switch instead to save the active skills. Yeah, let's do that. Let's rotate off Gogeta. Let me remind myself what kind of protections they're gonna have in their final form here. They do have guard, they have a little bit of dodging, and they get some extra dodging with the rainbow key spheres, but that's it. It's just the dodges, and like if they get hit, they only have that damage reduction for the one turn. But I suppose if I'm not going to transform them yet, then that's fine. So yeah, let's do that, because then when we do the tag switch here, I believe we do have a bunch of damage reduction, right? If I remember correctly. 50% damage reduction, and then 20% when receiving an attack. Yeah, okay. So yeah, alright, and then now we can go all out, so let's get all these orbs for them. And then this will work out well because the LR Super Saiyan 4s, when they come back, we'll be able to relink them with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku post-transformation. So they'll be looking quite impressive together. Alright, and we are getting very close to that Dokkan gauge filling up as well, which is nice. Alright, perfect. Oh, I guess, I mean, the crits do reset every turn, so we didn't have to worry about crits in that first slot. So I guess I did have options here. I could have played it a little bit differently. But I'm okay with what I've done here, just because I think setting up our rotations like this makes the most sense anyway, right? So I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. We're still going to definitely KO the enemy right here, and be able to get our, you know, first phase of Gogeta against, or on turn 5. Which obviously it would be a huge blunder if we weren't able to finish him off here and he actually survived and we weren't going to start that final phase until turn 6. That would be a bit of a detriment, because then obviously we would have one extra turn of waiting for the giant transformation, which we want to get out immediately if we can. Alright, nice. And we got lots of good attack raises there for the LR gods, so they're going to be able to provide a lot of damage for us. Okay, perfect. So here we go. Turn 5. We've got access to everybody's active skills. Sweet. Love to see it. Alright, so very first thing, we want to do the giant transformation. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then this guy he has a max of 1 super attack per turn with a 10 cooldown. So yeah, I guess... Okay, we do want to strategize this well. We want to make sure to try and get as many super attacks as possible, right? Because every time we super attack him, he loses 10% chance to crit. And this boss is obviously going to look a lot less scary with less chance to crit. How do I want to do this? Probably like that. I guess we can do this. We're going to do some active skill transformations here in a second that are going to allow us to, you know, get some rainbow orb changing on the field. So I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so let's just keep count of... Okay, there's the super attack already. Honestly, that's not super great. I mean, no, it actually is fine. It actually is fine. Because post-giant transformation, he's not going to be able to super attack anyway, which I was going to say, the fact that he supered right away just means that all of these extra attacks that he's doing deplete the cooldown, so then he could potentially slot 1 super again, right? But that's not going to matter anyway, because he's definitely going to reach his cooldown when we defuse and then play out the entire rest of the turn normally, right? Okay, so far we're at 3 super attacks dealt for the turn. This is number 4. So now he's down to a 60% chance to crit against us. And that was not a super attack, so he's still at 60% chance to critical hit at the moment. We do have to keep that in mind as we continue on here. Which obviously the unit that's the scariest for is the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. because he doesn't have the dodge anymore. Now he is basically, aside from like the 10% damage reduction that he gives from his support, he is fully relying on just defense and guard, which doesn't help you much against critical hits. So we definitely want to put him in the final slot. Oh, but you know, we're still chilling because we've got access to the Vegito active skill here, right? And Gogeta for that matter. Okay, so let's go ahead and get Gogeta out. Yeah, we'll get him out onto the field. Awesome, that helps with a little bit of orb changing. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and transform this guy into Vegito. And then we will activate the target skill mechanic immediately. Awesome, we're going to get some more free damage in here. Wonderful. Oh, and that takes him down to a 50% chance to crit. And then we're going to put him in slot 1. It's actually really lucky that all of the counters are going to be post-super attack for him, so he is going to be hitting massive numbers this turn. In fact, I think it's very possible we just straight up KO here. Right? Surely. Surely that's a possibility. Okay, there's that. We're not quite at that Dokkan attack yet. We're getting very close, though. But I honestly don't even think we're going to get there. We're probably about to do so much damage here. Obviously, we didn't keep the Vegetos on rotation the whole fight, so they're not quite as built up as they could be. But there's still so many attacks that he's about to do. Okay, and now he's down to a 40% chance to crit. After this, it'll be a 30% chance to crit. This is all before he's gotten to launch a single attack at us. He's down to a 30% chance to crit. That's quite insane. Alright. Yeah, that is massive amounts of damage. Okay, and now he's going to be down to a 20% chance to crit. Wonderful. And now a 10% chance to crit. So he got to launch one normal attack at us before we basically just completely flattened his passive ability. That is so good. So good for us. And then also, you know, I guess we do still have this target skill mechanic, and we're going to KO him here, so it doesn't really matter. But we did successfully get ourselves to the point where we were protecting the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? He was going to be able to not have to worry about taking a critical hit. So, that's good. Alright, well, I guess that wasn't too difficult after all. We just had to make sure to go slowly through that second fight to make sure not to get to the Gogeta too quickly, right? Because once you have all of those big boss, you know, active skills and stuff, obviously we were perfectly fine. Alright, well, there we go. That is the stage taken down. Quite a few missions just completed there. Let's go ahead and collect all of these. Oh, yeah, some of those missions were probably just from my dailies and whatnot. Okay, cool. So we've got these. The only thing that we have to get now, we have to do the Successors mission. So we do have to run the entire stage again with the Successors category. I think I might end up just doing that in a separate video. Yeah, most likely. That's probably going to be the best way to do it here. So yeah, just because we're already at like 45 minutes, I think I probably will end up splitting it up. We'll just make that the Earth Protecting Heroes run, and then we'll finish up here, and we'll come back to do the, you know, the Successors run. So yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!